up across the 30 to the 32. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll run for it here. This is Prosh, the fullback. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So often you hear about teams trying to avoid the middle when they're working against a true 3-4 defense because the nose is so hard to move. Which side do you block him to? How do you get him out of the middle? Well, some teams will double team. Some teams have a good center that can move a guy. But if you can control him, that takes away whatever the rest of the force guys are trying to do to you because once they get to the play, you usually overwhelm them with your own blockers, and that creates some space.
They send Parker in motion left. Now a play fake here on first down. Finding time. Trying to lay one. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jarvis Landry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Let's go. Throwing, Hundley. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Defense showing blitz. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. 11 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Let's see, the defense might bring some added pressure as the offense is dealing with a 3rd and long.
Here we go!
Off the play fake. He'll blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you up to Orlando, and with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Larry Ridley. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Here comes Grant on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
380, 380, dagger, dagger, check 3, ready, 3.
Now a quick handoff, and this is the fullback, Prosh. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be second down.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Second down, 8.
Cut in left. 3 down. Set. Zebra. 10. Under 10. Dagger.
Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13.
Hey, dagger. Check 380. Dagger. Dagger.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. His tight end, Jordan Cameron, the intended target, and it's third down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL. I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. From the gun, here's Tannehill. He sets to fire deep, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Returning, it's Benjamin. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now they'll pitch it out. This is Gordon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Here we go. 1-9.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Allen, the intended receiver, now 4th down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And it's fielded at the 34. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
380.
And the wideout in motion. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And caught by Cameron right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolute monster with a really high motor.
And they're going to speed things up here. Tannehill on 3rd down. And he's got him. It's the tight end, Cameron. And he's brought down after a good gain. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Tannehill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jordan Cameron, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left, and no good. Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
2nd down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Slot man moves right. As they set up to throw. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now Hundley. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Really nice little connection there. They go with the corner route, and it works out well.
And the best way to set up the corner route is to throw slants throughout the ball game so that when you're able to get back outside, the defender has to respect the inside game.
Throwing, Hundley. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Back to throw again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Second down now after the incompletion. They'll look to throw again. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. Back now in Miami. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
After the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. So bad mistake there by the kicker as the ball goes out of bounds. Off the give from Tannehill. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They send Parker in motion left. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Set 380.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and that brings up fourth down. Here's Matt Darr now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown. But when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Now Hundley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Deep drop. Going deep here for Allen. It's caught inside the 25. An unbelievable play there on 4th and long. 58 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 3. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And he was able to find a very soft spot in that zone coverage.
I love that term, Brandon. That soft spot where you find the open area, set up, and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
Throwing, Hundley. And right side, Henry's got it. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. So now after the timeout, they'll try for it one more time.
Let's go.
Hundley going to throw for it. And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On first down, Tannehill. And over the middle, this is Parker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Set 380. 380.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Set 380.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. He's got time. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
That's going to frustrate the coaching staff a little bit as they dialed up the deep shot, but they weren't on the same page on that play. Heck, I don't think they were in the same book. I think he thought he was going to do something else, ends up throwing it over the sidelines. Well incomplete.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Set blue 10. Zebra. Zebra.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Zebra.
Throwing now, Tannehill. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come out here in the I. Going for it, and this is the fullback crunch. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
One of the hallmarks of their success this year, they've been fearless on 4th down. And they convert another one right here to move the chains.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. 11 yards on the pickup, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
I love when a play results in a game that I can actually kind of fall back on one of my favorite adages, and that is anytime there's a run over 10 yards, it means that the offensive line did its job, but you know who else did? The wide receiver. Because the first 7 yards kind of belong to the offensive line and the running back. Anything after that means the wide receivers did a great job of blocking downfield, being willing to mix it up, and give them some more space to gain additional yardage.
Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand.